Good morning. I've been working on my 2D shooter game for a while now. I started this game all the way back in the beginning of my game dev journey, almost a full 3 years at this point. I haven't been working on it full time, and I've made many games while still working on the progress, but you would still expect that after 3 years I would have a good amount of progress, right? Wrong, it's barely playable, and it's really starting to bug me. Let's fix that. I'm going to release a playable demo for my game. Let's get to work on it. Last video, I fixed up a lot of things in this goal, but it wasn't quite enough to bring it to the finish line. And now it's time to fix up those last small features and get a demo out there for you guys to play. Last time, I added in all of the guns that I had drawn and got them technically running, but yeah, it's not perfect, so let's get it actually running. There were two main offenders to this, the baseball bat and the grenade launcher. I started on the baseball bat. This was just complaining about the animation system. I remade a few animations and boom, no more complaining. While I was fixing up the animation, I also decided to clean up the code that I have for melee weapons and make it function better as a whole. Next on this list, of course, was the grenade launcher. The problem that I was having with this was occasionally it just wouldn't fire a bullet, which really confused me. Why would this be happening? After scratching my head for way too long, I finally figured it out. The way that I was handling bullets in my game was instead of creating and deleting a bullet every time you shot, I just had a set of bullets that the gun would enable and disable when it needed them. This also applied to the grenade launcher, but somewhere in the code I didn't do my math quite right to generate the right amount of bullets for the launcher. So if you shot too rapidly with the grenade launcher, there was a chance that it didn't have a bullet to launch. This was a simple fix, and soon enough, it was functioning just right. I had all the guns function again, but I was still ticking off the small things on my list. Last episode, I made an ammo counter in the bottom right of the screen, and while that allowed you to see how much ammo was in your gun, you still had no clue about how many grenades you had. So with very minimal work, I had that now showing up in the bottom left corner of the screen. Eventually I'll go back through and rework all the UI so it'll look amazing. Someday. Okay, so that was all the main code features I decided were necessary for a demo. But that doesn't mean my work was done with this. So when first setting up my AI system, I decided that I was going to have a very open setup where I could add in different behaviors later without having to write any more code. Well, at the time of writing that code, I made a couple of placeholder behaviors, then quickly moved on to the next thing I was working on. After a while of working on this project, they were showing their age, so let's make a couple of new behaviors. These were a bit tricky. While there was nothing in code, there was still a ton of values and a lot of weights I had to play around with. I made a couple of behaviors and tested them out. But after working on this for way too long, the AI at least felt a little bit better. I made 5 simple behaviors. One where it's being shot at and how it'll react to that. One where it sneaks up on the player. One where it sees the player and just runs through. Another one where it's cornered the player. And last but not least, a kamikaze reaction. Okay, so the behaviors are feeling quite a bit better. But wait, I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to do that. Okay, I think I fixed it. Yeah, nope. Ugh. After way too long, I finally fixed up a bunch of bugs that happened to crop up in the AI behavior. For some reason, all of their aiming targets were all messed up, and it just created a mess of the situation. But sure enough, all crappy things must come to an end, and it was done. That was all I needed, so let's get to exporting the project. This never really goes well, so after much hoping and many prayers to brackies, I started exporting it. And well, of course, it didn't work. For some reason, the hands and the head were just gone, so I went back in the project to fix it, and they were gone there too. I was completely bamboozled, so I just pulled a backup of the game and tried to fix this. And promptly gave up. It was way more challenging than I thought. I think I figured out what was wrong, but I still couldn't get it working. So for this release, you guys will just have to live without a web build of this game. This is also a very good lesson to keep consistent backups in case something goes wrong. If I didn't have the backups, then a lot of my progress could have been lost. Actually, correction here, I got a web version actually working, so you guys can enjoy that too. Well, I finished exporting it and now the game was up, but there's no use in having my demo out there if I can't get any feedback from it. Sure, I could just rely on the comments you wonderful people leave. Or I could make a full-blown Google form to get all the information from you guys, giving me a more in-depth understanding of what I need to fix and change. There are questions from the pacing of the game, the art of the game, and many other factors. This should be super helpful for me. Now that the demo's released, all you guys can go play it. Under one condition. You must give me feedback. Understand? Okay, absolutely must. Glad you understand it. Oh, have at it. One quick side note before I close out this video. Yes, this project is made in Unity. In my last video, I had a lot to say about their new pricing policy, and almost none of it was positive. The entire game dev scene has been in a panic, but since that video, then they went back on a lot of the things that they've said. This news is more than music to my ears. I'm still not the happiest that they did this in the first place, but I feel much more comfortable continuing projects in Unity. Projects like this one. I can't say the same for any new projects I start in the future, but for now, I'm going to keep using Unity while still keeping my eyes open for new engine opportunities. Just wanted to keep you guys up to date on this whole super complicated situation. Well, this is the end to this very short video. I know I didn't get too much progress in this game this week, but I gotta get this progress done eventually, and I just needed to get a video out. Please let me know how you feel about the game and this video. I read all of your guys' feedback and comments, so if you have something to tell me, then I'm glad to hear it. Thanks to the 2 of you guys actually watching this long for some reason. If you liked this video, then like and subscribe. If you didn't, don't. Or whatever. I'm not your mom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.